From Punto, Sao Paulo to the airport. An evaluation of Line 5 of the Guadalajara mass transit system. In the midst of World Cup excitement, a team of 3 decided to evaluate Line 5 of the mass transit system operated by YOUT, which connects to the Miguel Hidalgo International Airport in Guadalajara. We wanted to see how functional and practical this mobility option was, a system that arrived decades late to meet the needs of the city's residents and airport users, whose passenger flow has multiplied in recent decades. This is, in short, the evaluation based on our experience traveling from the hotel zone on Avenida Americas, in the northwest of the city, to the airport. We were left with the impression that the problem is not one of underinvestment, but rather of inadequate negotiation. 1. Our starting point was Punto, Sao Paulo, a well-known shopping center and restaurant district. 2. We compared 2 connection options to Line 5. Option A, take a bus to Plaza Patria, connect to Line 3 of the light rail, and then connect again to the macrobus that travels along Calzada Independencia until reaching the Agua Azul terminal of Line 5's trunk line 2 to the airport. Option B, take a city bus on Line 622 towards La Minerva to Agua Azul Park, and from there take the same trunk line 2 of Line 5 to the airport. In general, Option B, the regular bus route 622 bound to La Minerva, proved better than taking Line 3 of the light rail. Why did Option B, Route 622, win? A. Because it's just one connection. B. Because the Punto Sao Paulo Plaza Patria section of Option A is short, but traffic there is very slow almost all the time. C. Because when you get off at Plaza Patria, you have to cross the entire plaza to reach Line 3 of the light rail. D. Because while the train is better and announces the station names before you arrive, it lacks announcements in other languages, and there's no information in the cars indicating where to get off to continue to the airport. E. Because when transferring from the train to the macrobus on Calzada Independencia, there are no signs indicating the correct exit if you're going to take the new Line 5 to the airport. F. Because the macrobus on Calzada travels a short distance before reaching the Agua Azul station on the airport line, but it's very slow due to traffic congestion on that avenue and the intersecting streets. G. Because, depending on the day, and this is very important, when you get off the macrobus at Agua Azul, you emerge into the chaos of a cultural market, and there are simply no signs indicating where is the stop of the branch 2 of Line 5 the airport. Whether you take option A or B, you face the problem that the stations of the branch 2 Line 5 to the airport are unmarked, and the surrounding area feels very unsafe. It's true that taking a single bus that takes you to the airport for 11 pesos is a much needed option, but we can't ignore its drawbacks, which we'll address in the form of questions. 1. Why was the opportunity to put a bus stop in a covered area at the old intercity bus station near Agua Azul Park missed? 2. Why doesn't this branch 2 of Line 5 use the dedicated macrobus lane on Calzada Independencia to reduce the inconvenience and insecurity of connecting both transportation routes? 3. Given that the above wasn't implemented, why wasn't a decent terminal built near the park for the airport line? 4. Why aren't there any clearly marked stops between Agua Azul Park and the first designated station on the dedicated lane that begins at the Periferico and the Chapala Highway? 5. Why weren't elevators installed to access the stations located along the Chapala Highway? 6. Why does at least one bus door opens onto a steel post of the station structure? It would be safer to get to the platform. 7. Why, after using the tunnel before reaching the airport terminal, does the bus take a horrendous detour using the Chapala Highway on the right lane and has to navigate competing for space with freight trucks, including a section in the opposite direction of traffic? 8. Why was the station made so inconvenient to use if you have luggage at the station located outside the airport? 9. Why, upon leaving the airport terminal, do you have to go out into the street to get sunburned or rained on, depending on the time of day and the season? 10. Why is the macrobus station at one end of the airport terminal and the shuttle service to catch an Uber at the other? It must be said that everything seems to indicate that the great merit of this new Route 5 is its very existence and the low price to get to the city, but if you have luggage, arrive at night, arrive during rainy weather, or need to get to the city urgently, this option is not what the user deserves. We spent almost 2 hours between Punto, Sao Paulo and the airport, so to try another option, we returned to the same point by Uber. I'll tell you about this experience in another video. The lesson here is, you have to negotiate better before investing in public works.